Every day, about 800 million vehicles consume 7 billion liters of fuel. Keeping gas stations around the world filled with that flammable liquid is an incredibly complex and potentially dangerous job. Have you ever wondered how gasoline is made? We visited the oil industry in the USA in Texas to discover how gasoline is made from crude oil. This is one of the most powerful places in the world. In Texas lies the US oil industry. Drilling has been done here since 1894, but it wasn't until 1901 that the oil industry took off, when, in one stroke, the extraction company tripled US oil production. Since then, nearly 60 billion barrels of oil have been extracted from Texas, and if the oil companies have calculated correctly, there is a reserve of about 10 billion barrels that have yet to be extracted. Oil is not only the main fuel for transportation, but it also provides 50% of the energy we need. Petrochemical derivatives are also essential for most everyday products such as plastics, asphalt, tires, as well as cosmetics and pharmaceuticals. The sticky, smelly, black liquid they are searching for is crude oil, which is the raw material for gasoline production. Oil is found deep within the earth. Tens of millions of years ago, plants and tiny marine creatures died, fell into seabeds, and were covered by sediments. Over centuries, the mass of organic material underwent a chemical transformation due to heat and pressure. 250 million years later, they have transformed into one of the most important sources of energy in the world. Crude oil smells like rotten eggs, but it also smells like money, lots of money. This is Texas tea, the best black gold there is on this hot and humid morning. The team is starting their work, which involves drilling a new well every month. Over 2,000 new wells are drilled in Texas, extracting over 900,000 barrels of crude oil per day. To keep the crude flowing, producers like Occidental Petroleum drill an average of 1 new well per day. For the workers, this hard and noisy work in the sun is like any other day in the office. For others, after identifying potential oil and natural gas reserves beneath the ground using seismic technology, the drilling site is selected. Although this technology aids exploration, oil exploration remains a gamble. If the well is productive, the crude oil goes to the refinery, where it is processed to make gasoline, diesel, aviation fuel, and other products. But finding and extracting oil from the subsurface is only half the challenge. They also need to reach the oil. In this area, known as the thermal basin, the oil is located at depths of up to 4,000 meters, trapped within rocks that are 542 million years old. To reach the oil, they use massive engines to drive a large diamond-tipped drill bit into the ground. However, the friction generates a lot of heat, and to cool the cutting head, water must be continuously pumped into the hole. Then, the water carries the cuttings to the surface in the form of mud. It's noisy and very dangerous work. They have to ensure that the drill pressure is correct. If it's too low, it won't cut. If it's too high, it will break. There are risks of gas emissions that could cause catastrophic explosions. While drilling, the team constantly adds pieces of drilling pipe using a 5-ton automatic double wrench. As the drill progresses at a rate of 5 meters per hour, this arduous task must be repeated every couple of hours, 24 hours a day. If they're lucky, they'll hit oil. Initially, the pressure of the trapped oil causes it to pass through small holes into the pipe and rise to the surface. But this natural pressure doesn't last forever, so to keep the oil flowing, they use a pump jack. The circular motion of the motor flywheel is converted into vertical movement, and like a giant metal syringe, it pumps oil to the surface. The fluid from each well flows through a pipe, and all the well pipes feed into a main line leading to a gas disposal vessel. The fluid contains carbon dioxide, hydrogen sulfide, and natural gas, which need to be extracted. These pumps serve to collect Texas black gold, But these oil fields are far from where the crude is needed, so a series of pumps send it through a pipeline for a journey of 1,000 kilometers to its destination. This is the largest oil refinery in the USA, with over 8,000 kilometers of metal pipes covering 10 square kilometers. This plant can refine over 562,000 barrels of crude oil per day. The noise is so deafening that the 4,000 plant workers use over 1 million ear protectors per year. This place is so vast that not only does it process Texas crude, but it also refines oil from around the world. Crude contains a mixture of hydrocarbons, each with a different number of carbon atoms. These hydrocarbons have different weights. The lightest is propane, while the heaviest is used to make asphalt. The team removes and treats hydrogen sulfide, turning it into sulfur, which a local farm buys to use as fertilizer. After heating the crude to over 370 degrees, it is pumped into the base of the tower, and the vapor rises as if it were boiling water. When it cools, the molecules condense. First, the heaviest asphalts sink to the bottom. The lighter molecules, gasoline and kerosene, continue to rise until they condense and can be extracted through a siphon. For every 191 barrels of crude, 88 liters of gasoline, 48 liters of diesel, about 26 liters of kerosene, almost 7 liters of propane, and 32 liters of other products such as lubricants and plastics are extracted. This plant produces enough gasoline for a car to make 770 round trips to the moon. The fuel is tested in an old engine to check its detonation capacity. Detonation within an engine occurs when the fuel ignites spontaneously when compressed in the engine cylinder. Then the laboratory can return the data obtained to the refinery to correct errors in the mixture and ensure that it is perfect. It's time to open some valves to allow the gasoline to flow through underground pipes to nearby terminals. From here it goes to huge tanker trucks. But filling a tanker truck is more dangerous than filling a car's gas tank. A failure to load or unload the truck could result in a serious explosion. The metal body can generate sparks due to static electricity, so the first thing they do is lay a ground cable and activate sensors to protect against possible overfilling. A second pipe, known as a vapor recovery pipe, absorbs the emanating vapors to prevent them from dispersing into the atmosphere. Every day, about 4 million liters of gasoline are transported to gas stations. After pouring the gasoline into the huge tanks, it's ready for consumption. The next time you fill up your tank and think about how expensive fuel is, remember the government and oil producers.